Okay, I know it's a little early, but it is about to storm here. And so I may have to end a little early. And so I figured I would go ahead and just start a little early. So tonight's topic is, can it, ferment it, or dehydrate it? So if you have any questions on canning, fermenting, or dehydrating, some methods are better for some things. Like, I'd rather freeze corn, you know. I'd rather can salsa. You can ferment salsa, but I'd rather can salsa. Um, I didn't tell Mark I was going early, so Chef Tech will probably be in here in a little while. But I just wanted to get started and see, you know, what was going on. Because with my weather being kind of funky right now, I wasn't sure. This storm was not on the radar and it just popped up. So we'll see if it goes around me or if it hits me. But it's getting pretty dark, pretty dark out. I did find a spot here where I have 5G. Hallelujah. So I should be pretty good. You should be able to see me pretty good. There's 3 people in here. Please leave a comment so I can see who you are. Um, YouTube doesn't count you if you don't, even if you just make a dot or something so that you've interacted, then YouTube will count you as an actual view. They're kind of funny right now. And I am going to be really close to making my payout. So they're going to be really particular about that. So if you're in here, please just leave a comment, even just say hi, anything so that I know you're here. Looks like we have 5 people, but no comments yet. So YouTube won't count that as an interaction if you don't leave something in the comments. So it is getting really, really dark here. I'm at the park, at the lake. I found 5G. So, hey, Uncle Richard, I went early. Thank you for leaving a comment. Um, I am surrounded by Amish, which is kind of unusual for my area. I mean, there's some in the area, but not. They're all here throwing things and rowing boats. And I'm like, I don't think they got the weather report either. Um, and of course, Sawyer's here. He's under the pavilion, so he won't get rained on, but it's a little redneck here. And so my neighbors over there were playing music like they're in the hood in Saginaw instead of in the middle of nowhere, Michigan. So I had to come in here so I didn't get a copyright strike. Hi, Diana, too. Yes, the weather has been really crazy and it doesn't look like it's going to. There are leaves falling. Like, it's 90 degrees. It is not autumn and I have leaves falling. But last night it did get down to 59. So, shooting from 90 to 59, the trees don't know whether it's summer, fall, what it is. But yeah, really crazy. Um, I picked up some more produce tonight by the side of the road. My favorite price, a sign that said free. I got I'm probably going to be doing a lot of cucumbers because I could have picked up a whole 5-gallon pail and I just picked up these 2. So I'm going to I had some brine left over. I'm out of vinegar. I may have to ferment some of this stuff. I'm out of vinegar. And then I got a whole bag of, same place, of banana peppers. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This is the same neighbor that lives down the road from me that put out the rhubarb the other day, and I wonder if I can show you guys that picture. Let me see. Um, I don't know if I can do it. I can so much this weekend. Uh, oops. Where'd it go? Comments. Get back here. I don't. Okay, but I want to see the comments. Let me see the comments. Ah, I just saw one and now they're gone. I do not like this new version of StreamYard. I don't like it at all. So, I don't know. There's a banner. I'm playing with it for a minute. I can't do that because I don't have... yeah, it's not going to let me... Oops. Nope. Nope. It's not going to let me show a picture. Oh, there's Mark. Hey.
All right. You got good signal?
I have 5G. I am live, though. I went live early because I'm getting a thunderstorm coming in. Hi. You might want to raccoon yourself.
Yeah. Thanks for the notification. I didn't think you went live this early, but all right. Let me...
Well, I got a thunder boomer coming through here. I may have to take cover. So.
All right. Let me see if it'll... get rid of that one. Yeah, delete it off of that. Don't need that. My computer. Yes, I know. Hold on. I'm trying to load it up here. Which, it's going to squeeze things together and just irritate the crap out of me.
Hi, angels. Welcome. I'm trying. Now let me do that, but now I can't see comments again. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, let me go back up. There we go. Hi, Diana, too. Uncle Richard's in here.
Oh, Richard popped in. Good.
Yep. He was the first one in.
Of course he was, because I messaged him like a half hour ago. Richard.
It's just not letting me see comments very well.
I'll pull it up here on my phone here. I'm waiting for, I think it's loading. Yeah, it's processing, so it'll take a minute because you went early.
I'm so sorry, but I think I'm going to see if I can roll my window down. The people next to me left. They were playing music from the hood, which I'm sure my friends that are across the way here that are Amish was not appreciating. It was not.
I'm sure. All right. Looks like we are.
There, that's better.
Remove it. Okay. Can you see my? I shared my PowerPoint. Can you see it on the bottom in the green room?
Let me see what I can. Oh, there it is. Yes.
All right. Click on that. All right. Of course, it's not going to let me do the fade in. Oh man, I was proud of this slide.
I'm sorry.
I had things bouncing in and bouncing out. I think I have to do it live to present it off my computer. So, yeah, this is going to go slide by slide. So, wow, whatever.
Small shout out to Panda House. Thanks for the lunch today.
Welcome to the Monday live stream. Can, ferment, dehydrate. What am I going to do?
All of the above.
Well, yeah.
Right. Hang on. Let me see if I, yeah.
Sorry, I got to let my dog in and.
I got to grab something over here. Oh, I should have grabbed it before I went live. All right, there it is. On the subject of the car dehydrator, this is today's project in the car and the dehydrator. I'm on the deck. We have two kinds of hot peppers. We have mint, we have strawberry leaves, we have pineapple weed for tea. And there should have been some thyme in there, but I don't know where my thyme went. It may have went flying when my son slammed the door too hard.
Thyme is but an essence. Ooh. That was a triple mess there.
A really good herb too. Oh.
All right. Well, it's not going to let me do my slide. I wish I could just share screen, but it won't. Wait, let me see something a second here. Oh, wait a minute. Let me share my screen. Let's see if it'll entire screen, window. There we go. New tab.
Angels wants to know if you would dehydrate or freeze dry flowers. I guess it depends on what you want them for.
Yeah, we can get into that a little bit, whether we're freezing, dehydrating, or whatever. Let me get rid of that. Can you still hear me?
Yes. If
All
you
right.
want them for flower arrangements, you dehydrate them in silica sand, and then they hold their shape, and you can use them in dried flower arrangements. But if you want them for like tea, either way, either freeze dried or dehydrated would be good. Whatever you.
All right. Let me see if I can. There we go. Oops. Window.
Yeah. Yeah,
Share screen.
if you froze them in your refrigerator or your freezer to freeze dry them, they would lose their shape and their color. So if you're using them for flower arrangements, you definitely want to do the silica sand.
Yeah, so freeze drying, you know what? Dehydrating is the best for all the general purpose things, doesn't last forever. Freeze drying does one thing, it removes 100% of the water. So as soon as it's exposed to even humidity, it starts to reabsorb it and goes bad. So flowers, no. Herbs, I freeze dry herbs, but when they come out, they get crumbled up and thrown right in the pot. So
Yeah.
you don't freeze dry and let them sit in a jar open because they just rehydrate themselves and they look like rotten leaves. So let me
Mm.
see.
I dried on the dashboard echinacea and made a tincture. That video is coming out this week. I have been popping out the videos. I've been really trying to do the Everbit. I'm trying to fill in the space with talking while you're doing your
Yeah. Hey,
computer
can
thing.
you see the other one I'm trying to share?
Nope. All it is your regular profile again.
Uh, yeah.
Yes, Gil is taking a break from YouTube until they pay him what they owe him because they have cheated him on payments
Yeah.
and
Well, he's never
disputing
going to
that.
get that. We all know it. But all
Well,
right, I put the other one back in the group. I try. We have to play with that before we go live, so I can try to practice.
I can add you back to the stage. There you go. Well, if
Yep.
that'll help.
Yeah. Whatever. That's
Yeah.
all right. So I had each one individually popping up, but that ain't working now. So vegetables, which one for canning? Should I can it? Can I can it? Why not? Vegetables. Which vegetables? I specifically put broccoli and cauliflower in there to
Yes.
make you go, ugh,
Ew,
don't do that.
yeah. I mean, you can pickle cauliflower. I have never seen anybody pickle and can broccoli. If you try to can broccoli, it will have the most horrendous stink ever. You will not want to open that jar ever. But you know that's up to you. You be you. But I have never found a way to do broccoli. But I have had pickled cauliflower that's quite good. But
Yeah, but not hot canning for opening the jar and pouring it in a bowl and having it with dinner. I don't
yeah,
think canned
not
cauliflower, like,
yeah.
pressure
No,
canned for an hour
it's
and
a
5 minutes or whatever.
it's a pickle. It's a condiment. They canned it with a ton of mustard, so it's like orange yellow. My sister brought me a jar of it, and I don't like it. And she keeps bringing me these things that are like completely off the wall from like some of them are good, but like she brought me thimbleberry jam from the UP. Okay, that's cute. I can hundreds of jars of jam every year. Well, no, I don't can thimbleberry, but I can't eat all the jam I have. But okay, thanks, sis. And then she went she went to some country because she travels all the time. She went to some country and brought me back England. She went to England and she brought me back mustard pickled cauliflower.
Alrighty.
Okay. I mean, I opened the jar at a family dinner so that I didn't have to eat the whole jar because I don't like cauliflower, period. Well, I shouldn't say that. I found some really good recipes. I like where
Oh,
cauliflower tastes
I
like
love
other
me
things.
some roasted cauliflower with a little olive oil, a little salt, pepper, and maybe some chopped garlic on there, and throw it in the oven. It gets a little brown pieces on it. And I like it that way.
Where you take the cauliflower and try to trick yourself into thinking it's buffalo chicken, is actually really good.
Oh, buffalo cauliflower. I've heard of that. Never
It
really
is
kind of
super good. Actually,
wanted
my
to do
my
that.
17-year-old son really loves it. And I can't find the recipe. I got to get a hold of the people that gave me the recipe. That is
I'm
really
sure
good.
you
He
could deep.
actually
I
requested.
guess if you breaded it like flour, egg, breadcrumbs, and then fried it, and then put the buffalo wing sauce on it, sure, I guess that could be good.
Yeah, that's kind of what you do.
Okay,
Sort of.
well, you can
Yeah.
do that with anything. So,
But and then she brought me, and this sounded horrific, onion jam from
oh,
Ireland.
I've had that. Well, red onion jam is good.
Well, this actually tasted like French onion soup in a jam form.
Oh, Richard would like that.
Oh, it was wonderful. I have the rest. I have the ingredients. I'm gonna have to try to find the jam because, like, the ones I see, it didn't have like bacon in it. It didn't have like bourbon in it. It was just onion jam, and it tastes like French onion soup. And it was
With sugar in it.
right. And once again, I'm like, I am not gonna eat this. I am just not gonna eat this. I don't know. I don't. I like onions, but not that much. I did
Eh.
not know what it tasted like. It sounded horrific. So I took it to a event where you had to bring an item for a charcuterie board.
Oh, there you go. It
And
might actually be good on like like baguette slices roasted in the
that
browned in
it
the
was
oven
delicious. They had like
with
this.
like with steak. You have that on
Yeah.
your little bread pieces with like a nice piece of meat, steak,
Yes.
venison,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, some people brought homemade bread, some people brought goat cheese, some people had homemade kabocha. Everything people had basically made and brought, and then they
Yeah,
had put this charcuterie board together. The the basics of it came from a place, so it had a bunch of crackers and
right.
more breads, and so it was really really good on the dark brown black bread that I had.
Cool.
And this gentleman at the end came up and he's like, where did you get that? I'm like, my sister brought it to me from Ireland. I said, but there's half a jar left. Would you like it? Really? I can have the jar. I'm like, yes, you can have the rest of that
You can
jar.
have the jar and
I
everything.
just need a picture of the ingredients on the back of it. He's like, really? I said, yes, I want to make it myself, but I will never eat this. And we're camping here. I don't have a refrigerator to put it in. Take it home with you. And so that was at the Mitten Homesteaders event that I was speaking at. And so he took it home and he was just so excited to have it. He really liked it. So I do have to recreate that one. But she just brings me these oddball things that you would never think of canning. But all right, back to the topic. No
All right.
cauliflower, no
So
broccoli.
would I can herbs? Just herbs. Do you can them? I'd
I
say no.
I'm gonna say not by themselves, but I put them in a lot of things. This year, you go everywhere. Every jam has basil added to it. Blueberry basil, strawberry basil, jalapeno basil. So basil is the herb of the year, and it's in all of the jams. Would I do it by myself? No. Will I throw mint in things and can it? Yes. Do I do mint jelly for putting on lamb? No, but it's a thing. I've done it once. I don't have that much lamb. But yeah, so you can make a tea and then make it into a jelly, or you can add it. I add it to all my roasts and things. I throw it in with my roast. So the only
Yeah.
thing I will not can is sage. Anything with sage in it, because I'll add the sage later because it has a horrible bitter taste after about 6 months in the canner, in the jar.
So could I can like for storage, like say like a parsley herb blend that I like to do on stuff, pack it in a jar, load it up with olive oil, but should I process it in a canner like a water bath or a pressure canner?
No,
Okay.
no, no. They do not recommend that you put that much oil into canning. Hang
Well, I
on,
guess
just
actually if your herbs are wet and fresh, you don't want to pack them in oil because the moisture is just going to collect on the bottom and get funky on you as it starts to leach out. You all right there?
That's funny.
Oh,
I'm
you're on.
sorry. I had to mute because Sawyer had asked me a question. I'm
Oh.
sorry. Say that again.
So yeah, no, I don't think you'd want to put fresh herbs in a lot of oil and let it sit because all the moisture would come out and sink to the bottom and go funky.
Yeah,
So
you want to dry.
maybe dehydrated herbs, pack
Yes.
like your blend that you like. Say I like you know,
I-
parsley
my-
and thyme and a little oregano in there or whatever, and pack it in a jar with my blend the way I like it, and just load it up with oil. Then I could use like, a tablespoon or so out of it, throw it in the pan with when I'm cooking like,
Right.
fish or something like that.
You're going to want to refrigerate that. Here's the
Okay.
problem with pressure canning things in oil. You've made a perfect environment, and I'm going to say the B word, botulism. So that's why they don't recommend. Now you can preserve garlic in oil, but garlic is a root vegetable. It's under the ground. Botulism is a soil-borne toxin because it likes anaerobic, and underground is anaerobic, oxygen-free environment.
Gotcha.
So you have to be really careful. Like, I mean, I would have no problem putting my thyme and my rosemary. In fact, I just did. I did it. I did cheese, and I put thyme and rosemary, and I used granulated garlic that had been processed to death, not fresh. And I put that in my oil, and then I put my cheese in there. And I told everybody that I have to tell you to refrigerate it, but that sat on my counter for a whole week, and I did not refrigerate it.
There you go.
And I kept my cheese good. And I had some mozzarella that was all dried out and was like chalky or pasty. And I put that in there, and it rehydrated. It kind of kind of rehydrated the mozzarella so that it wasn't dry and nasty.
Yeah. All right. What about meats and
This is here.
proteins? Dumb
Huh?
question. Can I can meats and proteins, and which ones? Yeah, it's a pretty much almost all of the above. Hold on
All
one
of them.
second. My dog is being a jerk. Hold on.
Yep. You can do all of them. You can do beef, lamb, chicken, pork, ostrich, pretty much any rabbit. I don't know anything you can't, as far as meat, you can't can. Bear is actually better canned because you kill the trichinosis that it carries. Same with pork, because you cook it so thoroughly in the canning process. It's actually safer to can bear to eat than it is to. I see people like just frying bear and eating it like a raw steak, and I'm like, you're gonna
Good.
get trichinosis.
Or
I watch
something
those
else.
Alaska shows, and I'm just like,
Yep.
they're frying raw bear, and I'm like,
Yeah. Ground bear burgers. Yeah, that's it.
yeah, no way, no way would I do that. Maybe it's just because I know what I know, and maybe it's more common here than there. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
I
they
probably would
probably
not
could.
do
They
that.
probably. I heard I've seen a couple of those where they cook it, but like if they do a bear roast, yeah, it's well done. They don't leave
Yeah,
it rare, medium. Nope.
yeah,
They cook
no,
that sucker up to 165 or 170 degrees to
yeah. But I
take
just saw somebody, and their hamburger was still bleeding, and I'm like,
it.
no, that's not good.
Yeah.
You got to really cook that meat.
And
So it's
fish, you can
actually
you
safer.
can can fish, right?
Oh yes. Oh, canned salmon, my favorite.
Like canned salmon or canned smoked salmon. Ooh.
Ooh, candied salmon. Yes.
Yep.
Uh,
So, all right. What's is it gonna
Dave
let me
Knight's in
add?
here. Hi, Dave. I'm trying to
Oh,
see. I made the bruschetta from. Let me see if I can get it. The comment. Nope, I can't get it to come up because of the way
hey
it
Lewis. Lewis popped in,
from the
marshmallow
bubbles.
man.
I used dehydrated basil and oregano. Yes, and dehydrated herbs are great. Basil and oregano are awesome in recipes. I do not think you can put too much basil in a recipe that has tomato.
Yeah, I do. I'm not that basil gets too sweet for me.
Mm,
I'd rather have the oregano. I like the tartness and the acid of tomatoes. Some people put sugar in their sauce. I do
no.
not. I think it's a vile thing to do. Richard's laughing because he knows there's a pizza place that it's a chain pizza place. I can't stand their pizza because they put sugar in the sauce. It's the one that makes the square pizzas,
Ah,
and it yeah whatever. It's a 4-letter word, 2-syllable, begins with an
yes.
L, ends with an O. But anyway, yeah, I don't like their pizza at all. I like their cheesesteaks, but that's about it. So, but yeah, I don't put sugar in the sauce. I learned a trick. Somebody tried to teach me a trick a long time ago when I was cooking. They're like, oh, if your tomato sauce is too acidic, throw a little baking soda in there. I'm like, well, that makes sense because when you put baking soda and vinegar, the two combine and it makes it inert, it calms the acid down. Well, I did that and ruined 4 gallons of sauce. It tasted horrible. And I was like, yeah, I can't serve this crap. So I stopped doing that. I just had to throw a little sugar in for the customers I had. They liked it that way. So, but anyway, all right. So, and fruits. Can you can fruits aside from jellies, which we all know jellies? Canning fruits I've canned pineapple chunks in water.
Yeah.
And I water bathed them because the acid count was high. I think I extended the water bath just because I wasn't sure. But I still have Richard's waiting for it because he knows I still got about 10 jars from 2019 or 2020 downstairs. Oh no, he knows they're there. But they're packed in water because I did the light syrup. He'll eat them, but he likes the water ones because it's a sugar thing. So
I have 1 jar of canned pineapple from 2 years ago left. That's it.
Yep.
Time to find pineapple on sale. I've been doing an inventory, trying to figure out what I have. I've got to get my pantry organized because with moving 3 times in the last year. So
yeah, you'll get it straightened out. So all right. So canning fruits just basically mostly is jellies, jams, chutneys, and spreads for fruits. You can can something like canned apples, peaches for making pies or just for eating. I do that with peaches. Love canned peaches.
I can applesauce just to use it in place of oil in recipes because it keeps better than oil. And with the price of olive oil doubling last year, I was like, I'm going to make more applesauce this year.
Yeah, I might make it. I might do it again this year. I still have a lot of my I forget they're little they're little green apples, but they something gold, honey golds or something. They're little tiny ones.
They're
so good.
Yes.
And I made a ton of those last year. I freeze dried probably a bushel to make apple snack. Well, I gave you guys some. And
we got strawberries. I shared the strawberries.
Oh, that's right. I gave you the strawberries. Yep.
You gave me the strawberries, and the strawberries are freeze-dried strawberries are Grayson's favorite freeze-dried fruit. So when I opened it, I made the mistake of being at his house, babysitting, and didn't think about it, and he devoured that package.
Yeah. Wait till you realize the amount of devour was probably about a pint because I think that bag had about 2 pints of strawberries in it.
I think we ate it over 2 or 3 days. I left it at his house and we ate it over a couple days.
I had to buy smaller Mylar bags for my one daughter because she told me, she's like, please don't send me those big bags anymore. I'm like, why? She's like, I eat them in one sitting. I'm like, your bathroom must be a mess. She's like, I don't want to talk about it.
We're not discussing it.
Nope.
Hey, at least I was at my grandson's house, babysitting my grandson. They have the fish are just jumping out here. They have a flushie. With our camping right now, we do not have a flushie. So
okay.
We have a house out back.
Right.
So too much fiber could be a bad problem.
So fruits, we're kind of good on fruits with canning. So let's move on to fermenting. Now, I am not a fermenter, so I'll just ask you lots of stuff because I have questions.
Oh, I am really getting into fermenting.
That's good.
I did 2 different batches of pickles, the little tiny cucumber pickles fermented, the old fashioned kosher dill fermented pickles. I did two separate 2 liters of those. I have a bunch of stuff fermenting in honey right now. Those are kind of ferments. I'm supposed to do some sauerkraut. Not for me. I'm not a big fan. I eat about a quart a year, and that would be more than enough for me. But I have a request for some sauerkraut, so we're gonna do sauerkraut.
Have you done? Have you preserved or fermented garlic in honey?
Oh, I do at least a pint of that every year.
I have seen this so many places and heard about it. It's like, am I leery of things fermented? Yes, I am, because I don't want to do something wrong, get sick. So, but in honey, but you got to use good raw honey, natural honey, not the crap you buy at the store.
It actually takes like the bite out of it, so that it is like you can. I can't eat. I don't want to. I could, but I don't really want to eat a whole clove of garlic without fermenting it in honey first because it has like
Hmm.
that bite. But when
Right.
it mellows when you do it, so it's like perfect on top of a salad. And you have to remember, and I cannot say this, I have to be very careful how they say this. 8 cloves of garlic is equal to 1 dose of that stuff you would be prescribed that starts with A and ends in psyllin.
Really?
So 8 cloves is the same as
A
that.
dose.
So if you are starting to feel under the weather and you think it might be something that would bacterial, start pumping the garlic honey in yourself.
Oh, that's why Italians eat the garlic, and my wife might. I mean, a lot of people know that. Yeah, garlic is just healthy for you. Period. Whether it's
Yes.
fermented in honey or not.
Chicken
And,
soup. Throw it in chicken soup. I mean,
yeah,
that doesn't matter how you get the garlic.
right. And I
It's
heard, I
very
did hear, I heard a
beneficial.
wives' tale years ago. If you eat a lot of garlic every day, the mosquitoes leave you alone. I heard that, but I don't know if it's true or not because I don't want to walk around stinking like I just came out of a garlic patch. But if you eat enough garlic and that keeps the bugs away, maybe it'll keep the ticks away. I don't have to look deeper into that one,
Yeah,
but
maybe.
that would be
Um,
cool.
Angel said she did a fermented hot sauce with the garlic and honey with a lemon slice.
Nice.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
And there's some added
So
vitamin C with the lemon and
when you ferment garlic and honey, you don't chop it, you don't slice it, you just pop the cloves out of the head, peel
whole
them,
cloves and
the
throw them in
little
the honey. So like, yeah,
the little root stump and all.
no, I just take them out of the skin, individual cloves, take them out of the skin. So it's just the clove
Yeah.
and
Do you
throw it
cut
in the
that
honey.
do you cut the little hard end off the bottom of it where the root would normally grow? Do you cut that off or you just leave it on there?
Yes. You don't have to cut it off. I have left it on, but it doesn't soften in the honey. So I don't
Okay.
like to eat that. So I cut
Yeah,
it
that's what
off.
I was thinking.
Yeah, it doesn't get like soft in there. You would think it would like get really soft, but it
Right. So
takes
when
about 2 years for the honey. If you have some that last that long, it takes about 2 years for the garlic to change in texture to become softer. Like it does not become soft right away.
okay, so I'd fill like say a pint jar, wide mouth pint or probably a wide mouth pint.
Mhm.
I where would I fill it to with garlic
You want
cloves?
to leave.
Shake
You
it
want
down
to
and
leave
then
a. You want to leave a inch and a half headspace because sometimes it will really bubble and it'll bubble
okay,
over. So you want to leave a thick headspace in there.
okay. And
What I
do you
do,
have to do garlic cloves sink in the honey, or do you have to keep something
yes.
on top like a tray, like a metal
Nope.
dish or something?
No, they sink.
Oh, okay,
If they don't sink, there's something wrong with them. Like
okay.
they're how. Um, but what I do is like I opened a head of garlic the other day, and so I'm probably gonna take the rest of that head and just throw it in my honey, and then the next time I use fresh garlic, I'll do the same thing. And so by December, I'll have that jar full, and then I'll start using out of it.
So, but you said it takes 2 years, or how
No,
soon do
no,
you want to eat it?
I said the garlic cloves stay crunchy. They
Oh,
don't
okay.
really start to lose the water out of them and to become soft until it's almost like been 2 years. So they're not going to, that little hard nub on the end, the root end. If you don't take that off, it'll be like a hard, crunchy, nasty.
Oh,
It
okay,
will
gotcha.
not
So,
soften.
if I pack a jar or put honey and garlic in a jar, and I actually have
Mhm.
4 pints of local raw honey. I had my wife buy from a friend of hers. They're downstairs. She's
Ooh,
like, "When's it gonna go bad?" I'm like, "Never."
never.
Ask the Egyptians. It won't go
More
bad.
than 2,000, more than 2,000 years. And if you're
Right.
around in 2,000 years to see if it's
Yeah.
gone bad or not, we'll talk.
So there's an idea. So I'll do little half pints with 10 or 12 cloves of garlic in there, and I'll
Oh,
put
you can do more than
I'll let them
that.
ferment, and I'll store them away for 20 years, and then sell them for ridiculous money. But anyway,
No, 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 no. If you're gonna do that with garlic, don't do the honey. You put them in really fine soy sauce, and then you leave them in there for 100 years, and then they're worth a lot of money. It's called 100-year garlic. And the Chinese, it is like they pass them on in their will to their favorite child.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that one.
Yeah. So
That's
I mean,
good.
there are more
Right.
ways.
So
for
what does aside from eating the garlic, putting it on a salad, just eating it, is what can you use the honey? Because now you have garlic flavored honey, correct?
cough syrup. It's a natural
Whoa,
cough. You would, if you have a cough, you would take a teaspoon of that honey with that the garlic's been in,
cool.
and so you may either use the honey up first, or you might have to pour some more honey in to replace it if you have like something with a bad.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Sweet.
yes.
Yeah, I knew I'd have a ton of questions.
And then like Angel said, she used that garlic for her um fermented hot sauce.
Mm.
So I usually just use regular garlic. Now I'm thinking that might be a little sweeter. I don't usually put sweetener in my hot sauce, but that might make it a little different tangy
Yeah,
taste.
garlic hot
Sounds
sauce,
actually sounds
garlic
yeah.
honey. Yeah.
We
You
do.
probably make a hell of a salad dressing out of garlic, like a garlic honey vinaigrette. Ooh.
I did 10 pints of hot sauce, 3 different ways total, and we are all out of hot sauce.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's so many things I want to do. I don't really have the space to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of loaded up with other things right now, but it's on my my bucket list.
Yeah, I fermented a little. I fermented some. I can a green hot sauce with green tomatoes and green hot peppers, and then I do a red hot sauce with red hot peppers and red tomatoes.
Right. So fermenting in general, like say I want to do just fermented carrots and
Mhm.
cauliflower, or just some vegetables and stuff I have. I want to ferment it. What is the standard ratio of salt to water? There is a standard ratio, right?
Yes,
It's like 4% or something.
it's 2 teaspoons, 2 tablespoons to a quart. I'd have to look at my book. I don't do it enough to.
That's
Yeah,
readily available to search, like
yeah.
fermenting
If you look at my
fermentation
fermented
salt
pickle,
ratio.
I put that ratio and I talk about that in my fermented pickle recipe that I just did
Okay.
like 2 weeks ago, but I have done so much lately that it kind of escapes me, but I'm pretty
Oh,
sure it's 2 teaspoons per quart.
there's a percentage I know you froze
Yeah.
up. There's a percentage I know, and the best way to do your percentage is with grams and milliliters.
Yes. If you weigh
So
it,
yeah,
that's different.
yeah, that's your best way. Because if you think
Yeah.
about it, if I have a giant rock salt and I try to make a teaspoon of it, it's not really going to work. I mean, okay, a tablespoon, and I'll put that in the thing. But if I have super fine canning salt and I do a teaspoon of that or a tablespoon of that, it's going to be saltier because it's denser in the measurement.
I don't know if you can see it, but the rain has hit.
Oh wow, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah. So your best bet is to, like you say, weigh it all out. Because if you're
Get a book.
rustic
Don't
like me,
listen to us. Get a
yes.
book. Go online. Don't go to YouTube. Everybody's got their numbers, and most of them are correct. But go on to like one of the state sites or something that tells you what fermenting, or one of the science sites that says your fermenting salt to water ratio is 5-to-1 or 50-to-1 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Follow that, and they give you how to measure it and the best way to measure it. So do that. And then what do you just make you put your vegetables in a jar with your herbs and stuff or whatever you want, and you just fill it up with the brine.
Yes.
And then put the lid on with
And the first mistake I made the first time I was trying, and I had forgotten, like your brain doesn't. I used city tap water.
Oh yeah, chlorine just killed everything.
And it ruined it. It was black mush with pink fuzz. So be sure to use spring water, well water, something that is not chlorinated.
I wonder about distilled water.
You have to watch
to try.
You have to watch because some of the stuff you buy in the store has still been chlorinated.
Oh yeah, well,
so
to make it self-stable.
And it doesn't always say that on it. They don't have to
Gotcha.
put that on there. So you have to
So
be very careful.
find somebody with a well. Hey Richard, I'll be over to get some water. And use well water, basically.
Yeah.
You'll have minerals and stuff in there, but not the chlorine.
We have a flowing well that's
Like a spring.
20 minutes north of us, and I go and get water there for that
There
kind
you
of
go.
stuff. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
also use that water when I'm doing my, because this is sort of I'm going to call this a ferment, my sourdough.
Right.
I mean, I'm growing a culture. I also use that water when I'm doing my apple cider vinegar.
Right. Sourdough's a whole nother thing that's not really canning, but that's
Well,
another day.
we're gonna lump it in with fermentation because you're fermenting
Flour.
wheat.
Yeah. So all right, so we covered fermenting meats, I think.
Yeah, I'm not gonna I am not. I know
Yeah.
that people do that. Well,
you got that canned stuff that Shadow had, and over in Sweden, you got some. There are some canned fermented meats out there, but you're on your own if you want to venture down that road. I'm not even going there with that stuff.
And we're gonna get back. You're gonna get me to use that word again today. The B word again, botulism. The number one cause of botulism is fermented fish. Fish or seafood. Let's put it in this. Just seafood in general is the number one cause of home canned botulism.
All righty. So let's roll on to the next one here. Can I dehydrate it?
Yes.
So vegetables, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I dehydrated a zucchini once, and it turned into little tiny pellets because it was all water and it just shrank down to nothing. I fit this 5-pound zucchini in a pint jar because I think I overdid it, but I wasn't sure when I first got my dehydrator. They were like little tiny pellets, and I'm like, yeah, these are never going to rehydrate. I think I threw them out or fed them to the birds or threw them in a mulch pile or something. But fruits, vegetables.
You should have ground them up and made them into flour because you can use zucchini, dehydrated zucchini. You can use it for up to 1/4 of the flour in any recipe.
Really? Seeds and all, or no seeds?
Seeds and all. Seeds are good for you. And if they're powdered, that doesn't matter. They don't. Yeah, you can grind it into a powder in your little coffee. I have a coffee mill I use for spices. And you can grind zucchini up and make it into a flour.
I dehydrated garlic chives. My wife's like gonna look at me now and go, yeah, there's not much left. Years ago, we have probably about 10 tablespoons left in the jar. I ground it up to a powder. Garlic chive powder is the bomb in our house. And we gave a jar to one of our daughters, didn't we? I think so. I think I gave some to Alyssa or somebody. But
That sounds yeah.
Oh my God. I throw it in stews and stuff, and it just adds a whole nother realm. That mushrooms are great dehydrated and powdered.
Yes.
If you don't like the actual mushrooms and the mouthfeel and all that, little mushroom powder in a some kind of a tomato-based stew is just you can't really taste it, but you can kind of tell something's there. It gives that umami, or my wife will call it that dirt flavor.
I love it in roasts. I will whenever there are pre-sliced mushrooms on clearance at the store, I buy them, I dehydrate them. I don't care what brand they are. I don't care what kind they are. I don't care what color they are. I dehydrate them. I grind them into powder. I throw them all in the same shaker, shake it up, and I put that on a lot of things. Eggs. It's good on eggs too.
Really? Huh. Never thought about that. Yeah. Like having a mushroom omelet without the mushrooms in it, but you get the flavor.
Yep. So when you're making scrambled eggs, you just kind of
hold on one second. I got to mute out.
Yeah, but you can put that on scrambled eggs, and it tastes really good. I put it on roast. I use it in my gravy when I make gravy, the powdered mushrooms. So it's sort of like a mushroom gravy, but it doesn't have the lumps in it, so my kids don't know what's in there. Mushrooms are really good for your brain health, so I try to get a lot of mushrooms in for my brain health. So Looking on his list here. Yeah, any vegetable, any fruit. I can't think of any. The ones that are hard to dehydrate are bananas, but you just got to use a lot of lemon juice to keep helping
Yeah.
this look
Sorry, I'm
color.
back. Yeah. Fruit, dehydrated bananas. If you puree it up and mix a bunch of lemon juice or some kind of what's the stuff we use for
Citric
canning?
acid.
Yeah, put that in there to keep them from turning brown. Yeah, you can make like sheets of banana roll ups or whatever. But freeze dried bananas are really good. But that's a whole different bag of stuff there.
I just got a whole thing of organic bananas given to me, and I forgot we got busy today. I've got to get them in the freezer. So I forgot to take freezer bags with me to my daughter. So tomorrow I'm taking freezer bags with me to my daughters. And then I'm going to put 2 bananas in each freezer bag and freeze them. I know we're talking dehydrate them, but I like to freeze them and then I use them for banana bread later.
Yeah. Do you leave the skins on, or you take the
Oh
skins off
no,
and freeze them?
I have never been able to peel them once I've frozen with the skins on.
Yeah, you gotta let them thaw out, and they get disgusting. Yep.
I mean I want to mash it, but I don't want to mash it in my fingers while I'm trying to peel it. So no, I peel them and then freeze them. I learned that. Somebody told me, "Oh, you don't have to," and I'm like, I could not get the peels off those bananas to save my life.
Yeah,
No.
my mom used to throw, the bananas start turning black, and she just threw them in the freezer as is. Oh, they're already wrapped. That's fine. And she would make banana bread out of it. I guess she pulled them out, let them thaw, and fought with the peels and got scooped out the banana mush and made her banana bread, which was awesome. I never died. It was good stuff.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No, I'm
so
gonna.
that's vegetables, fruits, meats. Yeah, meats, jerky. And I had to throw that bottom picture on there. That is ground up beef jerky. I have a jerky gun. It's like a giant caulking gun. You'll load it up with your ground up meats with all the stuff already mixed into it. You make your ground beef, you throw in your red pepper flakes and whatever other seasons you want. I never use the that pink stuff, the nitrates. I never put nitrates in any of my jerky ever. And that's all
I
the
use
kits they sell. It has the nitrates. It's so it lasts longer. Yeah, you don't want to eat nitrates. But anyway.
I do tender quick sometimes, but not that. That's a salt.
Yep. But I've done in the jerky gun, you can either do flat ribbons or round tubes. And I made a lot of it. They're like, without the skin, that jerky skin, whatever. But I just laid them out there, and I know Richard's listening, going, "Yep, I remember that." I called it, because I used to make cheesesteaks for guys at work when I worked at the dealership, and my mix in a squirt bottle was a Maggie. If you've ever heard of that, it's a brown sauce. It's like soy sauce, but it's not. It's more from Switzerland. It's a fermented thing, but it's called Maggie, Magi or Maggi. But it was that, black pepper, garlic, salt, and water. And I had my ratio. I forget what it was. I shook it up, but I mixed that in with this. When I made the jerky, I actually mixed in shredded cheddar cheese into it.
Regular, or did you go get high temp?
I called it cheesesteak jerky. And I gave a jar to Richard, and he gave it to our friend that we worked with. He ate the whole. It was a wide mouth pint and a half full. He killed that thing in a day. He's like, it tasted just like your cheesesteaks you used to make at the dealership. It was so good. And I think I still have a couple jars around. And that was from like 2017. And I threw desiccant packs in there. And I got one out in the shop. I might open it up and try it and be like, yeah, now they're crunchy as hell. But
you can buy the high temp cheese. That's what I put in like my bologna and stuff when I make my own bologna.
A high temp what?
High temp cheddar cheese and high temp mozzarella cheese, so that it doesn't melt when you're dehydrating it. It stays in little clumpy things. That's how they do it at the store.
Yeah, whatever. I don't remember. I think I just used whatever shredded cheddar I bought at the store, put it in there. Now, when it heated up, the oils came out of it, and it just mixed back into the meat again, so it kept it soft. but it had that flavor. I don't know. I never wrote that recipe down. I just remember making it, and it was good. But yeah, jerky. If you're into the jerky thing, you need a dehydrator. You cannot freeze dry jerky. Don't even ask. It's not a thing. Jerky needs to be in a dehydrator.
And it would have to be cooked.
Right. And you can do the thin slice stuff, like in the middle picture there on the right. And yeah, there's so many recipes. I didn't use a recipe. I just looked at somebody's idea and they're like, oh, I threw in this and this and this. I'm like, well, I like teriyaki, so I'll try that. I did just a standard teriyaki sauce. That was really good. And I'm like, but I like it spicy. So I threw a ton of hot red pepper flakes in the next one. Oh, that was really good. And then I threw salt and pepper and then lots of soy sauces and that because there's sodium in there and the salt helps cure the meat anyway. So to some extent, but I'm not a scientist, so just a chef. But
yeah, I am a thin sliced jerky, not the ground jerky.
Right.
That's my vote. It has to be the thin sliced. But the problem is, the minute I take the tray out of the dehydrator, I've got vultures circling, and it's gone in 15 minutes. And it's like, well, I've spent 4 hours, 6 hours marinating this, 2-3 hours dehydrating it, yeah. and I didn't get a piece because all of the vultures, my 5 children, because I have more than 5, but never had more than 5 at home at a time. One of the 5 children would tell all the others, and then it was all over.
Yeah, you just need a bigger dehydrator.
I'd have to do a whole cow to get some. Because doing a whole deer didn't work.
Well, you do a small dehydrator batch in the kitchen where they know it's there, and you do a bigger batch somewhere else where they don't know it's there, so they smell that when it's like fine, and you walk away, and then you go package up the other stuff so they don't see it.
I used to have a outlet outside on my front porch that was screened in, and I would do all my stuff out there, and then it didn't heat up my house.
Yeah, now dehydrators.
The onions and garlic didn't stink up my house.
Right. Oh, I did. I dehydrated. When I dehydrated mushrooms for powder, wife came home because I bought like 3 flats at Aldi. They were cheap that week on sale, and I sliced them all up and threw them in there. She came home. They had been going for like 8 hours. She walked in the house and walked right back out the front door.
Yeah.
She's like, it stinks in here. I'm like, I don't smell anything because I like mushrooms.
you either you do or you don't.
Yeah. So, but when you dehydrate, you almost really need to do it in a slightly lower humidity environment. You don't want to do it when it's 90 degrees and do it outside. I mean, it helps with the heat, but if the humidity is above like 65%, it'll take forever to dehydrate, and it may not last as long because the humidity, the moisture in the air just won't let it quite dry out enough.
I don't know. My dashboard is getting about 120, so I'm doing quite well dehydrating right on my dashboard. Like,
I don't think I want to be dehydrating in my truck, but that's another story.
I mean, I'm redneck, okay, because it's working.
Oh, in my truck, everything might have that smoky flavor to it. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Anyway, I don't have any car air fresheners in here, so
yeah. Well,
right now it smells like lemon thyme because it's and hot pepper.
Yep. So dehydrating fruits and that, you can dehydrate fruits, I guess, diced, sliced, whatever. You want them as thin as possible, not too thin, but so they dry out quick. And there's a lower temperature setting on your dehydrators, and they're all labeled. Even the Sunbeam one, it tells you, fruits here, vegetables here, herbs, meats, all these different things. They have all different temperature settings on it because you need to, it needs to heat.
You can hang things to dry. You don't have like herbs. You don't have. They're actually better if you don't do any heat. If you can find some place to air dry them. Peppers, if you cut them, I had to cut through these. I don't know if you can see. I'm gonna touch this thing and then I'm gonna regret it. You can see I cut right through them, and I'm gonna string them up on some fishing line and hang them from the back rack like I did last year. The luggage rack hook on the back of my truck. And they'll sit in the truck until they're dry. Because, I mean, nothing's going to bother them in here. Yeah. The windows are rolled up. It is, like I said, it's 90 degrees outside. So when the windows are rolled up, it's about 120 in here.
Jeez.
And so they will dehydrate really fast.
Right.
And then I'll just hang them in the kitchen. You want to keep them away from moisture though, so don't hang them by the stove.
Yeah, like everybody puts the salt and pepper shaker on the back of the stove
Oh,
behind the stove while you're
yeah,
cooking.
all your spices are on the back of the stove, and you wonder why they're all clumpy and gross and
Yeah,
like
and
growing
why
things.
the oregano, basil, and thyme all smell the same after about a year.
Yeah,
They just smell like a mulch pile. Yeah.
and I I don't keep my spices that long because they lose potency. So if
Mm-hmm.
I have something like that I've dried that I've made, when I get the next batch, I take the old ones and I try to do something else with them.
Right.
So if they
If
have a
you're,
medicinal use, I might take them and use them medicinally. I'm not going to they're not going to hang out. Like my mother died and my um 15 years ago, and my sister last year asked me if I wanted any of the spices out of her spice rack.
oh, you mean all the metal McCormick cans with no barcode on it?
Oh, these were glass McCormick jars.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
No
Like, yeah,
barcode.
no. Yeah, my
No.
mom, when we cleaned my mom's house out, the only thing I kept, my sister was like cringing. Well, aside from the cans themselves, I emptied all the spices out. They didn't smell like anything. I emptied the cans out because some of the cans of spices she had were from the 60s.
Yeah.
And it still had stuff in it. I'm like, whatever. And but I kept the cans and gave it to a friend of mine's wife because she collects stuff like that. And I'm
I
like,
was
here, you
looking
can have it.
It's 2025 and I was looking at that and I'm like, my mom bought that spice rack in 1985.
Yep.
Like, I don't think she changed the spices in there.
No, I did keep the nutmeg though. She had whole nutmeg.
Oh, whole would
And
be all right. Those would
yeah,
be
she had a couple jars of whole nutmeg that were like really old. I'm like, my sister's like, you're gonna keep those? I was like,
what?
yeah, watch. So I took
Here you go.
I took one of the little nuts out
Okay.
and I scraped it and she smelled it. She was like, oh my God, it smells like nutmeg. I'm like, yeah, it's a whole nut. That's why. So I kept those. We used that. So anybody else? Let's see. Nothing. Yeah. Lewis said nothing like teriyaki beef jerky. Yes, teriyaki beef jerky is the standard of any kind of beef jerky. If anybody's going to start making beef jerky, just don't buy the Kikkoman teriyaki. Go to a good Chinese store and get some good teriyaki sauce. It's thicker, more flavor. It's just a fermented soy sauce derivative, and it's something else. So you can make your own teriyaki sauce. There's recipes out there to make your own, but yeah, get some good teriyaki. Slice your beef up nice and thin. It's easy to slice the beef when it's still partially frozen.
Yes.
So if you buy fresh beef, cut it into the pieces like a London broil, thick, like inch and a half or whatever thick, but in a big steak and throw it in the freezer. When it comes out, just keep touching it until you can just sort of make the surface of it like squish a little bit. That's perfect. You just need a sharp knife and you can cut perfect strips out of it. Throw it in a bowl, throw your teriyaki sauce in there, let it sit to warm up a little bit so it's refrigerator temperature. Put it in a Ziploc bag or a zipper bag and throw it in the fridge for a day or two. Let it absorb in and marinate, and then lay it on your sheets and put it in the dehydrator.
Here's a little question for you. Let's see if your butchering skills. Do you cut it with the grain or do you cut it across the grain to be more tender?
So the jury, there is no jury on this. It's two separate juries. Some people like the stringy jerky, which is cut with the grain because it's chewy. Other people like with the grain, where when you take a bite, it breaks off and it just crumbles up in your mouth. I like both. Sometimes I like to chew on it for 20 minutes like a piece of bubble gum that has no flavor left after chewing it for 10 hours. Other times I like to just eat it. So it's your choice. You can cut it diagonally across the grain so your shreds are only about an inch or so long instead of the full length to give you the best of both worlds. But it's a matter of what kind of cut of beef you got, which way the grain's running, how many different sets of grains are in that cut of beef. Because sometimes they run one way and then it runs into another muscle group and goes the other way. So, yeah, you know what? It's all good no matter what you do. And if you really want to be picky about it, just grind it up and mix it with your stuff and get a jerky gun and make sticks out of it or flat sheets.
Well, there's a reason I won't let my butcher cut my meat because I like my meat tender and I like it the way I like it cut.
Yep.
I remember my mom telling the butcher how to cut chicken. She's like, "Oh no, do not do it that way. I want my chickens cut the old-fashioned way." So,
Right down,
and they would
right
always
down
cut it special for her.
Yep. Yeah, right down the middle. You like tender beef, you have got to get not that you need to spend more money. You need to get a sous vide, the sous vide little device.
I have one. I got to start using it. I got to get the pan to put it in, but I have
All
the
right.
device.
You don't need a pan. Call me.
You've told me.
Just call me.
I almost bought one today. I saw one, but it was too big.
You don't need a special Cambro pan. I do when I did.
No. I almost bought a cool. You've told me the secret. I almost bought what you told me to buy today, but it was
okay.
too big.
Yeah, you can just get a small cooler or something. Yeah, whatever. Just rip the lid off it, and then you put Saran wrap over the top to keep the heat in.
Yeah. No, I saw one today, but it was too big. I'm still looking for one.
Yeah, you can probably find one on Marketplace, like a cheap one. You can probably find them on sale at the end of the season at the CVS or whatever. They're getting rid of their coolers and cheap. That's where I bought a bunch of coolers, little Playmates and stuff for like $3.
All right. Well, it has been an hour.
There we go.
So I am going to cut out now because you can almost not see me. It's so dark here. And there's really nobody else left here at this park. It's getting a little creepy. So
a little sketchy.
yeah. It's more redneck than I want to be tonight. So I am going to let you all go. Thank you all for coming in, and I will see you next Monday night, and get a hold of me and we'll figure out what the topic is. If anybody has any suggestions, let us know.
Next Monday night, I might live stream it from me and let Tammy tag on so I can actually put up a PowerPoint that I spent like an hour and a half making this thing, and it's now just a bunch of slides. I'm like, okay, this now I'm not happy. My wife was like, "You did that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did. That took like an hour or so." She's like, "Oh my God, that was awesome." And then I put it on here. It's just slides. I'm like, okay, this sucks.
Well, I get a payment from YouTube. If I get my payment, maybe I'll pay the premium for the month, and then we can both stream it.
Oh, whatever. I mean, I can stream it. I can do so many streams. You can do so many streams in a month, and we'll figure it out. I just got to get my sister to hop on and be my moderator.
If I am not, well, I can. If you add me, I can be a moderator too. But yeah, so if it's not live on my channel, it'll be live on which one of yours? Mad Chick?
No, Chef Tech.
Chef Tech. It'll be live on Chef Tech. So watch. It'll be one or the other. Probably Chef Tech, because if he does a PowerPoint, I want to see it. So
now that I know how to do I'm getting better at my PowerPoints. I'm like, oh, I used to do this a long time ago. I'm like, wow, there's new tools now. This is really cool. I like this. So. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming along.
Bye.
Have a good night.